Hey, welcome back to the Pop Culture Cafe. I am Huck, and 2021, y'all, is coming to a close. And as we usually do, we look back and remember fondly all the great things we did together. And this year is no different. So what I want to do in this episode is go over the top 10 movie titles, the purchases I made this year that got me the most excited. So this could be just like an individual movie itself, just all by itself, or a box set. And I will say most of these are killer box sets with one or two actual standalones in here. So these are just things that I was super excited to finally get my hands on, and I'm looking forward to wrapping up the year and sharing these with you today. So without further ado, don't go anywhere, because we're coming back with my top 10 favorite purchases of the year. All right, let's get cracking, y'all. Look, I just want to say again, thank you so much for supporting my channel this year. I wouldn't have done any of these things or bought most of these things without the encouragement of this channel, without the encouragement of you guys by liking and subscribing and hitting the comments and all that good stuff. It just kept pushing me to do the next video. And so this is sort of a reflection of having started my channel almost a year ago. We will come up to a year in January. So get ready for something special on that. So let's go ahead and dive into this top 10. We'll have a couple of honorable mentions when we get near the end. But before I get started, guys, if you're new to my channel, do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. Get on down there and slap those things, because I do this type of content all the time. I go out on Blu-ray hunts. I do custom consolidations, top 10s, like this one here, and trivia contests and all this kind of good stuff. So yeah, do that. I'd appreciate it. Here we go. The first one, and I'm going to tell you also why each of these means a little something. So the first one I'm going to show you was acquired on one of my very first hunts, right? I went out to a thrift shop and got this particular one for $4. And that's why this is meaningful, because it was acquired on my first thrift store hunt for this channel at a good price, and it's a pretty sweet, fun thing. And it is, here it is, Looney Tunes Volume 4, Volume 3. This is Volume 3. And look, and I kept it sealed on purpose because I wanted to show you. I was going to open it beforehand, but I wanted you to see that this thing that I got at a thrift store was a sealed, brand new Looney Tunes, and I love these old Looney Tunes, and these are all uncut, uncensored. So these, when they got re-released, a lot of times they would get cut down or just completely not aired anymore. So this has all that stuff. So to get an entire volume of Looney Tunes for $4 sealed was an absolute joy. I mean, that's why we do this, y'all, right? That's why we get out there and look for these things and look for these deals that get us excited. So if this is the kind of thing that gets you fired up, or certainly was for me, then scoring something like this becomes an even bigger deal. So there you go. At number 10, it is Looney Tunes Volume 3. All right, next up on the countdown, we have, a fan favorite all across the world, man. This is good stuff. I was so excited this came out on 4K, and I waited until it got to a sweet price on Best Buy, and I also had Best Buy points that I got to cash in for another $10. So I was able to score up Back to the Future on 4K for $21. This whole 3-set movie was $21 because I got to save up, probably from all the shopping I've been doing. I got all those points. But I just love Back to the Future. I consider this an absolute perfect film. The pace, the writing, the acting, the directing, everything that went into Back to the Future 1 is an absolute masterpiece. So and of course, I just love the cast, and I'm a fan of 2 and 3 as well. I know maybe a lot of people aren't as big a fan of each one, but that's what sequels are. Sometimes you get a sequel that surpasses the original, like say Empire Strikes Back. Hello, but this one still holds the golden ticket. The first one as being the best. But I do love this set, and I was very excited to acquire this year on 4K. So there you go. At number 9 is the entire Back to the Future trilogy on 4K. All right, at number 8 is another fan favorite. It is a box set that I was excited to finally put into the collection once it dropped down to the, I think it was like 40. Yeah, I think it's the $40 price range. In fact, I kind of hadn't even unwrapped it yet. I was waiting for my 4K, my OLED TV before I started cracking into some of these. And that is the Indiana Jones quadrilogy. Woo! What a release this year! Man, I mean, this thing is fully loaded. I'm sure you guys have seen this thing like 1,000 times. I even did a video on my channel earlier that went over the packaging. And it's funny because I went over the packaging of the previous DVDs and then the Blu-rays compared to this. But because of all the issues with getting these out to purchasers and fans and all that, I never got mine. So I had to do a packaging review without the packaging. It's pretty cool. You got to go watch it. So, but yes, anyway, I am super pumped and I will be watching this on my OLED TV, which I'm looking at right now. What's going on, OLED? Very soon. So I cannot wait to just peel this open, pull these suckers out, and check out my Indiana Jones on my new TV. This is what I've been waiting for, right? Sometimes I keep things sealed for a reason. And it's to like enjoy the moment when I take it open, I take it right to the TV and I watch it. Because it also tells me when I see this, like, you haven't watched this yet? You haven't watched it yet. So are you guys like that? Do you just go ahead and open everything and put it on the shelf right away? Or do you keep it sealed as kind of a reminder that you haven't watched it yet? So you can look and go, hey man, I see this. It's been wrapped for like 7 years. Yeah, I might have a couple up there like that. But it ain't going to be this one, I promise you. So yes, here we go. At number 8, I'm very excited. The entire 4K collection of the Indiana Jones quadrilogy, number 8. Number 7 is a standalone film. First one so far. And I love this film. Now, if you're a Ben Affleck fan, I am. This is another guy, you know, he had to get through that whole Geely thing. Guys, get over it. That was a long time ago. He's done so much killer stuff, man. You know, The Town, The Accountant, just anything he gets his hands on, Gone Girl, like, the guy's got it going on, right? And so this film, I'm a big fan of, and he won the freaking Academy Award for it, and that's Argo. And I'm going to tell you why. And again, these purchases aren't necessarily just for the film, right? It's the whole package, like all those things. Great packaging, the goodies that come with it, and this as a single film. Now, I did a single review of this release on my channel, so go check it out. This thing has got tons of stuff. When you take it out, I mean, you can see there, it's got a big old booklet. It's got a map of the entire area they were at. It's got like the card that Ben Affleck, you know, the access card. It's got a copy of the access card. It's got this really killer, that's an insert there. It's got this killer book from Argo, just chock full. I mean, this is good stuff. And the reason this is on the list is I picked this up for $15. Like, imagine your favorite movie coming in a box like this. This is like Arrow quality, by the way. You know, when they put their things up? Like, that's a big, sturdy box. Definitely Arrow quality. You get this big thing. This is a hardcover book, man. And the movie on Blu-ray. It wasn't on 4K at the time, but here's the good thing. If the 4K ever gets low enough, like that $10 range stuff, I'm going to pick that up and then consolidate it into this box and have the ultimate Argo box. But just because I got this at such a steal, at such a good price, $15. But if you go on, I believe it's Hamilton Book right now, this same release is like $7.50. So it's even half of what I paid for this. And let me tell you, if you're a fan of it, that is an excellent deal. $7.50 for Argo, Academy Award winning film, directed by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck, and a ton of other great actors. So that is why I have Argo on here, because it's a great film and a great presentation for this film. Okay, now at number 6, we're keeping the whole single film, you know, sturdy box set thing going on. Speaking of Arrow, that brings me to this next film, and that is Legend. Holy cannoli, y'all. I'm a big fan of Legend. I know it has its flaws and its issues, but at the same time, it also has some really great things about it. Most notably, Tim Curry. I mean, let's face it, if Tim Curry wasn't in this, starring as Darkness, I don't think I'd ever give this thing probably a second chance. But he is, and he makes it worth watching every single time. Some of the other parts of the film suffer a little bit because of pace and issues with the fact that the entire soundstage had birds living in it, so they had to loop and dub all the dialogue of Tom Cruise and Mia Sara. So that's a little, if you kind of watch the film, take that in mind. That's why their dialogue when they speak feels a little bit different. But nonetheless, I mean, once again, here's the, you guys have seen unboxing of this thing. I'm not going to take them all out, but this has like a booklet and lobby cards and photos and the film itself. It is a Blu-ray, not a 4K, but still, transfer looks great. I've already taken this thing out. And it's got 2 cuts. It's got the theatrical version and the international version. So just having a killer release. See, just like Argo. Like if this was just a Blu-ray, I wouldn't be showing you this copy. But because it's this awesome release filled with goodies, like just like Argo, say, look at that. This was not an Arrow release, but I promise you, they released it like an Arrow release. So, legend. So excited to have this come around. And when it comes to Arrow, I got introduced to that this year, thanks to this great Blu-ray collecting community that I became a part of, and watching all you guys do your videos and stuff like that. And I hadn't purchased like one of these type of Arrows yet. So this was my first one. This is my first one to do the full, like, nice sturdy box with all the goodies in it. So that's why Legend makes my list. All right, as we continue the countdown here at number 5, it's all box sets from here on out. So just to let you know. And the number 5, I got this because I'm a huge fan of this franchise, and I can believe the deal I got on it. So here it is. The Planet of the Apes entire box set. I mean, look at this honking thing. That's it. There we go. Look at this honking thing. So in here are all the Blu-rays of all the Planet of the Apes films. The first 5 and the Tim Burton movie and the 3 CGI ones that are out now. So it's Rise, Dawn, and War of Planet of the Apes. And for those last 3 films, the 4K versions are in here as well. So not only do you get the Blu-rays of those, you also get the 4Ks of those. So add that up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different movies, 9 Blu-rays, and 3 4Ks. You ready? $23. $23! Like, at Best Buy. Like, I don't know how it went down to that price. That was absolutely insane. But I just went in one day, and there it was. It was like 2 copies sitting on the shelf. I'm like, $23? So yoink, snagged it. She rang it up, and it actually rang up wrong. It rang up higher, but I took a photo of the little tag that said 23, and she goes, "Yep, you're right. It's listed over there as 23." And bam! So there it is. And this thing is, now I'm not a big fan of this type of here, I'll show it to you real quick. This type of packaging, because it's like just a big old thing, and then all of these just come out. Right? So it's not the greatest packaging for this kind of thing. So it's just, they just flip over. But also, at least all the discs are on their own snapper, right? So they're not stacked on top of each other or anything like that. So that's a nice part of it. But the overall, packaging of this, I'd almost wish it was sort of like 4 different things with like 3 inside each. Just because, yeah. This is a little weird. But you also get in this set this really cool ape thing. Like when you open this, I just showed it to you guys, man. It's after Christmas, so I'm gonna surprise you with it. So you get all of the movie posters. Yep, there they are. Check them out. The movie posters of each film. Let's just thumb through them real quick so you get a nice shot of each one. Hopefully they're in the order they were released, but I didn't plan this. It's just how it goes. They are super nice. You even got the Burton one there. I was a fan of the Burton one too, y'all. I'm not ashamed to tell you. I just love good makeup on actors that bring it to life, and they were just phenomenal in that makeup. So there you go. That's it. You get the full dealio there. So there you go. So that is the winner chicken dinner at number 5. The entire Planet of the Apes franchise. All right, coming in at number 4, the reason this is on the list is because I always saw it. My old buddy over there on Mid-Level Media, Ken, over his shoulder, he always had this little section of little horror box sets. And this one always caught my eye. I thought, man, I wish I had a chance to get that. It's a Scream Factory release, and it's a nice box set, but I could never find it at a good price. And then I'm just cruising through Walmart one day, and there's 2 copies sitting on the shelf for $40. And I'm talking about The Fly entire franchise collection here. These have the originals and the news. And I gotta tell you, it's so new. I haven't even had a chance to get to it yet. See that right there? So just for you guys, we're gonna go ahead and crack it open for you right now. Look at that. Look at it. See? Whoop. Plastic come up just for you on this because I wanted to show them to you. So there it is. You get all the films right there, all individual there. Super good, super cool. And you've got the original Fly, The Return of the Fly, The Curse of the Fly with Jeff Goldblum, and the sequel to that film, The Fly 2 with Eric Stoltz. So this just looked like such a cool box, man. I just had to have it. I mean, look at the artwork on that. This is another reason this made the list, because, you know, Scream Factory always does good stuff. Scream, Shout. Their packaging is always like super nice, pretty sturdy for the most part. So there it is. So making the list at number 4 is this really cool Fly box set. All right, number 3, we just keep the Scream Factory love rolling along. You probably know what this next one is. Again, eyeballing this on other people's collections, their shelves behind them. This is sort of like almost like a centerpiece for any collector's shelf, right? And that is more Scream Factory love for the Friday the 13th box set. And like, I'll just jump right out there and tell you, it's not like I'm a super fan of every single one of these films. I think I've seen them all, but I mean, just like owning this is like, I'm just so happy to have seen this on Amazon. It went down in price. Heroic Waffles gave me a shout out and said it had dropped in price to like $90 or something like that. And this thing's normally over $100 for sure. But there it is. There's every single film all laid out in there. You get a nice little booklet that comes with it. And it took, I have to say, there was like issues with this thing. I had to send it back because like the corners were munched. And there's like a little ding right there, but I don't care. I don't want the package completely trashed, but you know, I also, you know, don't mind a few imperfections because it's mine. It's going to sit on my shelf, and maybe someday I'll hawk it or sell it, you know, if you know, if my kid needs to go to college. Just pay for college, Scream Factory. But anyway, I just love this set, and I'm super happy to join the crowd of collectors that also have this in their collection. They just did such a phenomenal job on this release. So coming in at number 3 is this absolutely boss set of Friday the 13th. All right, coming up at number 2, we're almost done, but at number 2, this is an amazing box set. This thing is like beefy, y'all. It's just one film in here, but I scored up a sweet deal on it, and that's kind of why this made the list, because it's an absolute classic black and white film from 1942. I mean, what other one should I flash at you? But here it is, Casablanca, y'all. Look at that. That is so cool. Let me show you what's inside this too. It's absolutely loaded. You've got like 3 discs of the film, 1 Blu-ray, 2 Blu-rays and 1 DVD. You get the posters from the film. You get coasters, right? Because it's he's got a bar. And then you get this great book right here. And then there it is right there. And then the box. So this is an absolute gorgeous release that I snagged at one of my discount websites. So I did a video on this during one of my previous videos. So if you go back and look at the thumbnails, you'll see this particular box in the thumbnail. So go check that out and you'll see where I got it from. And again, $20 for this thing. I think it's actually gone up in price since then. But I mean, when you look at something like this, imagine every one of your favorite films being packaged like this for $20 with like goodies inside. I mean, that's a good deal. That's kind of why I liked the Argo set, because the Argo has like almost as much stuff as this, other than that. I think what makes this box so much bigger is because how big the book is. but if they shorten the book down to half the size, this thing should be the equivalent to what the Argo box was. But yeah, man, Casablanca, probably my favorite film from the 40s. It's such a good love story. Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, they're just fantastic. So if you hadn't had a chance to check out Casablanca, do it. You owe it to yourself. It's a good one. So at number 2, Casablanca. All right, before we get to number 1, I'm going to show you a few honorable mentions that I was totally stoked and totally pumped to get this year. Just from starting this channel and going out shopping and doing the Criterion hunts and the Blu-ray hunts and all that stuff. So, and just flat out finding some great deals on some of these other websites that I've been using, like Hamilton Book or Gruv or Groove, however you pronounce it. Some of these were acquired that way as well. So, but this one was just good old Amazon. Honorable mentions go to the Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. Those look so good. Very happy with those. Criterion On the Waterfront. I have been wanting to snag this for a long time. And now that I have this channel, now that I'm going out on hunts, I mean, I didn't have any excuse to not pick it up during one of those hunts. So there it is, On the Waterfront, honorable mention. And another Criterion honorable mention. I mean, this was this close to making the list too. And that is War of the Worlds. Oh my God, y'all. The picture on this is so freaking good. Like, I don't care if a 4K comes out. I don't know how much better a 4K could look than what this picture looks like, but it's absolutely phenomenal. I cannot stress enough how much I think the picture quality looks on this film. So War of the Worlds, very, very strong honorable mention. Now, this is an honorable mention just because it has not been out on Blu-ray yet. I love this film, and I've been waiting for it to come out. So just the fact that it got released got me excited. So that's, again, remember, this list isn't about the best films or the coolest films, the number 1 films. It's just about films I was really pumped about snagging this year. And that is Breakdown with Kurt Russell. Just love this film. It's so good. And when it finally came out on the Paramount Plus, by the way, this is also my first Paramount Presents title. So, Breakdown with Kurt Russell. All right, 2 more honorable mentions. This was a Hamilton Book purchase, and that was the entire Lethal Weapon franchise for only $24, all on Blu-ray, and it has a special 2-hour documentary that's only on this one. I have another 4-pack of Lethal Weapon. This is just the Blu-rays that I got for, like, I think $7 at Target, but this was the money. This was the money right here. You got to get this one just because of that. And then the final honorable mention is the one that I got for Christmas. Me and my family, we went to New York this year for Christmas, so we didn't get a lot of presents for each other because the expense of going to New York was the present. But we all snuck one little gift in our luggage that we could hand each other to each other on Christmas Day, and that is the El Mariachi Desperado Once Upon a Time in Mexico 3-pack with Antonio Banderas, directed by Robert Rodriguez. My wife gave me this for Christmas, so this is how I ended the year, with this really great 3-pack, or 3-in-1, I should say, the triple feature from Robert Rodriguez. So very excited. Thank you, honey. So I'll be cracking this open. I just love Desperado, man. That movie, of all 3 of these, that is my absolute favorite. So that is it for the honorable mentions, and now we move on to the number 1 snag of the year. All right, we finally made it to number 1. Here it is, y'all. It's another box set. This one's beefier than that Casablanca box by just a little bit, probably because it has 6 movies in it. You guessed it, Columbia Classics Volume 2. I never had a chance to get Volume 1, but I was super excited when Volume 2 came out that I just had to pick this up. And guys, if you have not jumped on this yet, if you go to Amazon right now, it's like $95 with a huge coupon. I think it's like $17 off, something like that. So it comes down to almost like $75 for this. So if you have not picked this thing up, look at that sucker. I mean, now is the time. It is at the perfect price. I don't think it's ever going to get any lower than that. But it's got 6 films in it. I'm sure you've seen this on tons of channels, but Anatomy of a Murder, Oliver, Taxi Driver, Stripes, Sense and Sensibility, and The Social Network, all in 4K with a really awesome big old book that comes with these. So this is a delightful score. Again, since I didn't get part 1, I was very happy to get volume 2. in my collection. So this is going to round out the entire video of my top 10 snags of 2021. And I couldn't have done any of these had I not started this channel and gotten so much encouragement and enthusiasm back from you guys doing this type of stuff. So let me know in the comments below, what in my top 10 excited you the most? Because I know if you're like me and you're building your collection, you know, it's one thing just to get like titles that you're just excited to fill your collection with, but it's more exciting when you see something like these that really get you pumped for that particular film or box set or something like that, that when you're adding it to your collection, you're like, man, that is such a nice piece. And that's what these did for me. So let me know in the comments below which ones worked for you the most. If you think any of the honorable mentions I did should be in the top 10, and maybe some of the top 10s down in the honorable mentions. And what about you? In the year of 2021, what did you pick up that really stood out, that made you super excited, that, man, I was so pumped to get that movie? Because that's what this video is all about, is that particular excitement and thrill that I got picking up each of these movies. That is it for now, guys. Thank you so much for checking out my video. If you are new to my channel, once again, do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. That really means a lot to me. I see my subscriptions just building by the month, and I'm super appreciative of that. I'm super close to 2,000, so I'm hoping in a month or two to hit that number, and I hope to do something special when we get to that. That'd be excellent. And in the meantime, that is going to do it for now, guys. Thanks again for checking out this video of my top 10 movie snags of 2021. So until next time, I'll catch you later.